Old Nick released his demons unto the world of man. And the world of man fell before the demons.
What it do, movie fanatics? Super excited to talk to you about today's reviews. Released by Sony Pictures, this is 28 years later, The Bone Temple, a post-apocalyptic horror film directed by Nina Da Costa. She directed such films as The Marvels and 2021, The Candyman. This film was directed back-to-back with its predecessor 28 years later, which was released last year in 2025. This is the fourth installment in the series. The film stars such actors as Ralph Fiennes, Jack O'Connell, Alfie Williams, Aaron Kellyman, and Shea Lewis Perry. What I love about this movie that it goes back to its roots, back to 28 Days Later, where we get more in depth of the survivors and less of the infected. If that's not your type of thing, I get it. I understand it. This is a zombie film and we want to see more zombies, but don't get me wrong. We're getting more character development as we progress in the series. But what I love about it is something different and yet something very familiar and something surprisingly like I didn't think we need, but we got. And this is why I love this franchise. So we're left off at the end of 28 years later, where Spike is introduced to the Jimmy Crystal gang on the mainland, where Dr. Kelson makes a discovery that could alter the world. Shortly being rescued by the Jimmy Crystal gang, led by Sir Lord Jimmy Crystal, Spike is initiated to his group to fight to the death and offer death or sacrifice to their Lord and Savior, the Devil, where Dr. Kelson continues his maintenance on the Bone Temple, making memorials for those who were killed in the initial outbreak, as he's interacting with the local alpha he named Samson. This movie tackles a lot of religious tone, questions whether is humanity worth saving, and to be honest with you, it does tackle a lot of father issues. If you really want to be honest, I mean, Spike hasn't forgiven his father from the last movie. He's trying to move forward from the death of his mother. And Jimmy Crystal, Jack O'Connell's character was amazing. He's a sociopath, a psychopath, and he's a lost individual. Basically, he's like a child in a grown man's body who hasn't fully grown up, who's trying to find a father figure, someone to love him and someone to give him an answer to a question he's never gotten or since as a child on the run from the outbreak. As we know, outbreak is quarantine on certain British islands, which the rest of the world are still living day-to-day life and monitoring this island and keeping the quarantine out. As we know from the first movie, they send troops out there to eliminate some of the infected who are carrying the rage virus. And as we know, there are certain individuals who are stronger than others in a pack. I guess like wolves they call them alphas. Samson plays a crucial role in this movie where he befriends Dr. Kelson and they end up slowly creating a bond, a relationship, if you may, somewhat of friendship. Only due to Dr. Kelson tranquilizing Samson slowly reverts to his human nature or his humanity. Slowly comes back, which is amazing, which is great, which basically means, as I stated before, it questions humanity's worth saving. It feels that sometimes, even though the rage virus is taking over the infected, deep down inside, they are still human just like us. Which I love about this film, that we get to see the POV of the infected carrying the rage virus, which was amazing. I always question, what do they see when they see humans? And we get that answer. It seems that these infected seem to be the ones who think they're the ones who are not infected. They see the humans, the survivors, as demons, monsters, or the infected themselves, which is really crazy to go and think that maybe it feels like at the end of the day, we're still humans. And sometimes what we don't understand is what scares us, which hence why it causes us to attack something that we don't fully understand. What I really did love too is how it tackles the necessity as adults that we always need someone to be there on our shoulder, guiding us. Spike, for example, yet hasn't forgiven his father, but is looking for a father figure to guide him, which leads him into the Jimmy Crystal gang. And Jimmy Crystal is just this weird guy who plays this villain, but like he's just lost in his ways because he feels forsaken. He feels like he's this reborn gift to the world. He believes that he's the son of Satan, which is crazy. Hence what his initial is JC, which is a play on Jesus Christ. He believes he's the son of Satan. He mistakenly takes Dr. Kelson for Old Nick. If for some of us who understand religion, Old Nick is basically Satan. And he believes that Dr. Kelson is Satan in a human form, which causes his group to find the Bone Temple, believing that he is actually Old Nick, which is crazy if you think about it. I wish we got a little bit more film time. I feel like the movie was a little bit short, maybe just me. That would have been great if we got to actually see the POV of other infected and how they see humans or the survivors. And I did really wish we got to flash out a little bit of Dr. Kelson, a little bit more of his past, but maybe I think this is where we're going to get a sequel. And I just felt as Jimmy as a character, I felt like he developed some type of his own individual self, like he became his own man, and I felt like he reverted back to being a child. And I understand he's still a child, but I felt like after all the tragedy that he went to try to save his mother, seeing his father cheat on his mother, which was sick, who had cancer, and I felt like that made him stronger. But at the end of the day, I did feel like reverted back to being a child, that he was just misguided and needed to be found. I just wish that we got him to be a little bit more of his own person. This is going to play off in the third movie. I did hear the third movie is going to be a story about redemption, so hopefully we get to save the world in the next one. If not, I understand it's a zombie film. There's never really a happy ending in zombie films. We got to talk about the ending, which by Lord was amazing. We get to see Cillian Murphy reprise his role as Jim, which is amazing. I didn't expect this to happen. I loved it. It was great. And we get to see him on the same house he left off in the first movie 28 Days Later, which he has a daughter, which I believe it might be Selena, might be his mother, might be her mother. And we get to see Spike and Killian's character, Jimmy, on the run from the infected, which Cillian Murphy goes and rescues, which is left ambiguous at the end. Hopefully we get to see what happens. It feels like that having Cillian Murphy reprise his role in the series again is a must. And it seems like he seems to be the same person he was when we last left off. He was always about saving others, never leaving no one behind. Everybody needs to help each other out, which is amazing. Hopefully he doesn't change in the third movie. But overall, that's all I got for you guys. I did enjoy this movie. I do recommend everybody check it out again. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.